If you freeze when the camera turns on, I promise you, you're not the only one. I worked with brands, famous people, celebrities, actors, but when we hit record, they freeze. It's not a flaw, it's normal, and there is a reason for that. And I want you to remember that it's just a phase and it will pass. I've seen this over and over behind the scenes. The client steps in front of the lens, someone who is usually confident, knows what he's doing, and whenever we hit record, they freeze, they forget what they wanted to say, they second guess every single word, and sometimes they even forget who they are and where they are. It's normal. It's always unnatural and sometimes scary to talk in front of camera, and there is a reason behind that, and you need to know that so you don't feel like it's something you can't do. I'm sure that 99% of people watching this can do that, and it just takes practice and preparation. So today I'll talk about some things that can help you to overcome that fear when you feel like you don't know what you want to say, you forget everything, you feel ugly, you feel like everyone's gonna laugh at you. By the way, English is not my native language, so I think I have a reason to talk about this, because even when you talk in a language that is not your native language, when you know that you can make mistakes and you let yourself to start a new channel in a new language, then you have something to tell. Anyways, I'm a video editor. Sometimes I participate in shootings, and that's where I saw all these people being scared of cameras, but still doing that, and you can do that too. You need to understand that your brain functions differently, and you're used that if you talk, there must be someone else, and you start talking to something that you're not used to talking. Like, that's the same as I take this window and I tell the window what my day was like. Like, dear window, you know, it's scary for your brain. Your brain thinks that something is not okay and we need to adjust something, we need to heal. Your brain feels danger and it wants to protect you. That's why it functions that way. It's freezing. Your voice can feel a little bit like this, and you start talking like this. I saw that a lot. One thing before I talk about something else is just drink hot water. I'm always recommending that when people feel like their voice is shaking and the hands are shaking. That's for nerves, that's for nervous system. I don't know how to explain that in medical way, but I know that it works. I've tried that. These feelings of being scared, feeling awkward, has nothing to do with you and your talent. That's your brain functioning in a way that shouldn't, but it's okay because our brain wants to protect us. It's fine. It's great, actually. And we need to just play with it, use some tricks to make sure that our brain is not scared and it knows that we know what we are doing. And finally, after a little bit of time, your brain will get used to new ways of communication and won't feel afraid of cameras. So the biggest mindset shift is that you are not performing. Stop thinking like you are performing. You are talking to your friend. Imagine just one friend sitting in front of you. Take his picture with you on stage, in a studio, and imagine like you are telling something to your friend, the person that you can tell your secrets, that won't laugh at you at any situation. They will be protective, they will encourage you. Imagine that kind of friend, or I don't know, your parents, your sister, your brother, someone that you can tell everything. Imagine that person sitting in front of you and you telling your story or your course maybe. I want to say that even now, when I am shooting something in Armenian for my Armenian channel, my voice is different because I'm more confident, I'm in comfort, and English is not my comfort language. I want to practice more, but I know that it's not because I am bad at something, it just means that I need to practice. That's all it takes. When you start driving, when we started to drive, we didn't drive at highways, right? Confidence comes with using camera regularly. You don't need to make it perfect, you just need to start and practice more. First of all, before you start creating something big and serious, try to record some stories, talk a little bit about something, or start with voiceovers because they are more easy than talking while being seen. You don't have to post everything you're recording, because in any business, when you start trying something new, you practice, you try how it works, how it looks. Cameras are awkward because they're not looking at you, they're not smiling, they're not saying like they're not doing these things. They're just the camera. And one advice I would give you: if you want to feel more comfortable, you can use a mirror or mirroring your camera to your notebook or your TV to see yourself, or switching the camera screen. Because when you see yourself, at least you are smiling to yourself, at least you see what you're talking about, you see yourself, and you don't feel that alone in the room. It's a small change, but it actually makes a lot of difference. Another important thing to know is that you need to prepare yourself. I know a lot of people who are writing a script of what they're gonna say word by word, but if you feel like it's a little bit like robotic, you can use some keywords, some key things to remember, because when you know what you're gonna say, it's easier. I remember one time a business owner, we've been shooting an ad for his brand, and he had to talk. He had like 1 minute part in a video where he's gonna tell about his business, all the story. And I've said, you know, you need to write a script, or let me write a script for you, because you need that. And he said, no, I know what I'm gonna say. You think I don't know my brand? I can tell everything. And I've said, okay. He made a mistake even in his business name. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it would take a lot of time, because when you don't script before, when you don't prepare yourself and your words and your voice, it will take hours to shoot something that would take 20 minutes, like half an hour maybe. At least you need a structure of what you're gonna say. I'm not saying like write everything down, you need to remember every word. No, that doesn't work. But you need to know, you need to have a structure of your speech, and you need to prepare yourself. In the last month, I've been working with a lot of clients that felt awkward in front of camera, and I felt like I have a message to tell, because they all felt like it's not for them, but it's not the truth, because you can practice like everything else, like driving, like talking. It just takes practice. So I want you to feel confident in being awkward and sounding, I don't know, in this kind of ways, until you get used to camera, you get used to all of this, and you start sounding like your normal voice. Give yourself a challenge and start improving yourself every day a little bit. And I promise you, at the end of the year, you will be way more confident than now. But I'm not saying like in 4 months you can do magic. So magic doesn't exist, but you can start now. Record yourself every single day, not post, just record, just talk to camera, just tell your day. You can think this way, that you are making vlog for your future self, and tell about your day, whom you met, what you did, and it will help you a lot. I promise. When you record yourself and after that hear yourself 2 days after that, and compare all these things, you will feel how you change and how your voice starts to be liked by you. Just remember, it's not cringy, you're just new, and I promise you it will get better by the time. You need to practice and trust in yourself, and not be the biggest judge of yourself, but the biggest cheerleader of your success. Thanks for watching.